Hi guys, welcome back to the final part of this coverage for the DLC that has just been released. Well, I say just been released, earlier on this month for Call of Duty Black Ops on the 360. Now, like I said in the last video, the PS3 version, or the DLC for the PS3, comes out, I think, on the 1st of March. So what's that, just over a week away, I think. But it's funny to see that the 360 has all these exclusives tied up with it. And I'm surprised that PS3 owners, and I'm a PS3 owner myself, kind of put up with this. I just think they're really shoddy. And I know it's like, a marketing deal which has been struck up with Xbox or Microsoft first, but it just really seems as if the PS3 owners really get like the short end of the deal every time. But luckily for me, I use my PS3 as more of like a secondary console, and my 360 is like a primary one. And that is starting to change a little bit, but I guess it depends on the game. Now this I found quite funny. This is the guy who, I think I just shot him after he'd done that, or something happened. Let's have a look. So he's running up to all the windows and he's smashing them all for some reason. I don't know what difference it makes for him to do that. But obviously he does that. And he jumps down there, and then just as he goes through the door, after all his hard work, I get him with a claymore, which I just found pretty funny. Yeah, he's gone through every single window and then that happens to him. That's kind of funny. And then obviously in this at this moment in time, I'm in the theatre mode, which is, as I've touched upon before, is such a fantastic addition. I really love it. Just going in and watching things from other people's perspectives, where they were, what they were doing, and just little things like if they hadn't have turned in a certain direction, then you wouldn't have got them. But just them little kind of what if kind of scenarios. So as you can see, got off to a pretty bad start actually, 1 and 2, or 1 for 2, whichever way you want to phrase it so far. And that's kind of quite indicative of my gaming on Call of Duty. I can really have some pretty awful starts. And I think it's because more often than not I go in there straight from the off, like very much on the offensive. And as a result, particularly on Hardcore Team Deathmatch, which is what I usually play, it just makes me more susceptible, I think, to people who tend to camp on a map like this, or on the Hardcore Team Deathmatch. And so initially it kind of, I do get off to pretty rubbish starts, but invariably I usually turn it round. And more often than not, like I say, I come out on top with a pretty high kill to death ratio. But I guess it depends on the map and all the rest of it. And needless to say, the more you play a map, the more you familiarize, if I can even say the bloody word, yourself with where to hide, where not to hide, what to do and what not to do. And that's what Call of Duty, or you could say that's what any game is all about, really. It's just about knowing the maps, knowing where you are, and familiarisation. That's all it is. And the more you acquaint yourself with it, the easier it becomes. It's not really about skills and reflexes, although that's kind of part of it. It's really about knowing where you are and knowing what to do. So speaking of knowing what to do, as you can see on the radar there on the left-hand side of the screen, there's two guys there. One's somewhere near that entrance, and the other guy's down the bottom there. There's one of my teammates is obviously going in towards the door down there. So I think one of them's going to take care of whichever one. But that leaves another guy still there. So I can see he's there. The radar's come up, the UAV. There's no point me going out there. He could be waiting. I don't know what's going on, but there we go. He comes around the corner. I'm lying down behind a chair. Now, really, if he had a bit of common sense about him, he maybe should have thrown a grenade up there, or a stun grenade, like a flashbang or something, but he didn't, as you can see. And again, this is from his angle. I'm there waiting, lying down, underneath the chair. Now, it was a bit of a delayed reaction by me there. I think maybe I was just not concentrating or whatever. But I shot him, jumped down, and then as soon as I jumped down, there's someone nice and handy waiting for me there. And then his teammate was also waiting for me, just almost begging for me to shoot him. So I did. So I get my napalm strike. This is probably going to be ineffective, because it usually is, as I always touch upon. But we'll see, as I just figure out a place to fire it. Now, pretty much like everybody else, whenever there's a napalm... Oh, before I did it, I saw a guy run across there, and then his teammate. So that was two pretty easy kind of kills there. I say before I shot the napalm thing there. Obviously, I'd done that just before I shot them, but then stupidly walked into a claymore. Now, I'm not quite sure how I did that, because usually what I have on is the hacker, or the jammer, whatever the perk's called, I can't quite remember. And you can see where the other people have placed their claymores, which I find a really handy perk to use. Now, maybe I didn't have it on this particular one, or maybe I just wasn't concentrating. Not quite sure. But either way, that's pretty slack. But I always recommend that, you know, to use that jammer or the hacker. I can't even remember what you call it. And if you use that, it really helps you, because a lot of people use claymores, myself included. It's usually a pretty easy way of racking up the kills. In fact, that was really well timed again, because as you can see on the bottom left, someone just went into one of my claymores, gives me the UAV, I pull it up, and I can see there's a guy there. Again, it's all about, for me, using the UAV. So I revive my teammate here, and yeah, it's funny actually, because I do a lot of reviving for teammates, and I'm sure other people watching this do it as well. But I don't think you get any points for it or anything like that, and I think that's a shame. I think, you know, that would have been a good addition to have done that, but whatever, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I guess it would have been nice, but I'm sure they'll put it in for the next instalment of Call of Duty, the Treyarch one. Probably next year. Of course, Modern Warfare 3 is going to be the one that's coming out this year. And it always makes me laugh, because when they get like a stranglehold on franchises like this, which are obviously guaranteed to sell, I always wonder, look at that guy, what the hell? He probably got a bit cocky there and thought, well, I'll just go up and use the knife. And then obviously I turned around and got him in advance, so that was pretty funny. But no, as I was saying, it always makes me laugh, because, you know, with the Call of Duty franchise, when are they going to stop it? It's almost like a really bad kind of B movie that comes out. Or just any movie in general which is really popular. You know, they release a sequel, and then a third one, and a fourth one, and eventually it gets to the point where it's kind of laughable. You know, how many are they going to keep releasing? And sometimes you just wish that they'd knock it on the head. But at the same time, you know, if a company like Treyarch or Activision or whoever is going to be making constant, you know, millions and millions of dollars or pounds, you know, they're not going to stop, are they? So, and it's a tried and tested and trusted formula, the Call of Duty thing. So, what was that guy doing? But, yeah, I just wish they'd introduce new things. That's my problem with Call of Duty. I mean, it is a good game. It plays well. You know, it's easily accessible. It feels good when you're moving around. You know, it's a good game. It's a good engine that they're using. But it's just the same thing. And every installment, every new installment since really Modern Warfare, has just, to me, felt like, nearly killed my own teammate there, has just, to me, felt like a DLC. Like, you're going out and you're spending $40, $50 on, essentially just, it's the same game. It plays the same, but it's just like different maps. And I just think they need to do something different. But at the same time, you know, as I said, they're not really going to bother trying to reinvent the wheel, because they know this is going to sell. So it's kind of a, I don't know, a bit of a catch-22 situation, which is frustrating as a gamer, you know, because you want to see evolution, you want to see the game move on, but it hasn't really. It's essentially the same game since Modern Warfare in, what, 2006? 2007, whenever it came out. So anyway, that's by the by. I guess that's an argument for or a discussion for another day. But here I am, get the chopper gunner, or the Huey, and again, it's such a powerful weapon. I love controlling this thing. You really feel as if you're really raining down the fire on the opposition. Can't remember how many kills I get, but I nearly screwed up straight away. I could hear that alarm thing ringing, so someone was clearly aiming a rocket at me. In fact, you can see it there. I think he just missed, and it was that guy there. So I obviously backed off. Got him in the end, which is good. And I think I'm going to, go back to the theatre. This is kind of cool. There's a guy in the corner I shot. And then just look at the chaos that can cause. Them two guys in there just didn't stand a chance. And then also, as you might have seen on the left-hand side, I got someone else with my claymore that I'd placed. So that was like 4 or 5 kills in a row. That was kind of funny. And getting people when they're hiding in the building is obviously very difficult. Unless they're, veering out over a balcony or something, like I think that guy was a second ago. So I didn't count how many kills I got here, but it might have been, what, 7 or 8 maybe? Which is a pretty healthy return. And then obviously when someone targets you, there's nothing you can do about it, and you're pretty much screwed. But it doesn't matter, I got 5, 6, 7, 8 kills, whatever it was. And you just can't complain at that. Now, I think the chopper gunner, is that 11 kills? I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. You can basically pilot that actual aeroplane, I think, or the chopper, whatever it is. I just find that a lot harder to control, because you get the different firing rates and stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's move on. But yes, I very rarely use that. It's usually just set up for the Huey, and then maybe the attack dogs as well. But I don't know, sometimes I just find the attack dogs kind of useless. They don't really seem to get a lot of kills. And, yeah, I don't know why. They seem to get less kills in this game than they did in World at War, and were they in Modern Warfare 2? I can't even remember. But they do definitely seem to get less kills than in Modern Warfare. Sorry, in Call of Duty World at War. But maybe that's just me, or maybe the dogs are less powerful, or I don't know what it is. So anyway, racking up the kills. This game is probably coming to an end now. Can't remember how it ends, whether I get like a final kill cam or what happens. Not that it really matters at the end of the day. But I did pretty well in it overall. Oh, bloody hell. Them RC cars, I am not joking, and I'm not exaggerating, but like, let's say there's like, for every 10 RC cars that I experience in a game, I think as many as 8 of them will get me. And it doesn't matter what I do, I can honestly, I mean, I can't stress this enough, I can be hiding somewhere where I think, oh, they'll never find me. And all of a sudden I hear this and see this bloody car come around the corner and it gets me. And it just happens so often. It was like in Modern Warfare 2, the Predator missile would always get me. It's like, honestly, I don't know if anyone else suffers from that or whether it's just me, but it just seems to happen every single time. And it is infuriating. But, yeah, you know, it's just a game. It doesn't infuriate me to the point of, you know, going mental, but it is frustrating. But anyway, 4 videos that I promised have all been done, and it has been a chore. I've got to be honest. But I've done them now, so good times. Thanks for watching. See you later.